Theme next week for our Quest Wednesday gathering, Ade, is disclosure and coming out. Um, how do you relate to that topic and what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think very often I can use those terms, disclosure, coming out, interchangeably. Um, but that, to an extent, a part of me just feel that they are slightly different. With coming out, I'm always thinking of I've forgotten who talked about it, but they're talking about coming out of shame. There's almost like a loss of agency. It's almost like the people who are on the outside have the power in that situation. And when I think of the term disclosure, there's an empowerment that comes with it for me. So yeah, I think even though sometimes I use those terms interchangeably, I do recognize that they can be slightly different. The other thing that comes up for me is when it comes to sexuality or HIV status or many other sort of categories, it's not a one-time thing. Like disclosure is not one time, it's continuous. And I think when it comes to coming out initially, I think I used to think that when I was much younger, that it was just going to be this one time thing. I'm going to do it and then that's it. But with jobs, I remember I came out in my late 20s, and over a period of time, I changed jobs, and there was that constant having to come out all over again. And now, when it comes to my sexuality, I actually don't see it as coming out. I see it as disclosure, and I can choose whether I disclose that piece of information or not. What about for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it is that ongoing thing. I used to, like yourself, I kind of hoped it was like just a one-off thing and it's all done and dusted and then life becomes easier. But I often think of it like I get to the end of a road and I can go left or right. I'm faced with situations where if I go left, I'm going to express something, I'm going to share something about myself. If I go right, I'm going to go quiet. I'm going to go silent. I'm just going to withdraw. And I think the coming out thing, there was so many times with my mum where I thought, like, this time I'm going to go back home from university, I'm going to come out to her. And I got right to that end of that road and I kept turning right. I kept retreating, going quiet, not being expressed until the day that I did. And I think with my HIV status, being gay, and to some extent when I was at university, even being working class and exhibiting part of that kind of identity, all felt like, am I going to go left or right? Am I going to go quiet or expressed? And even to this day, even though I've been out since I came out to myself when I was around 15. I came out to my family when I was about 22, and I'm now 56. Even now, whenever there's a moment where there's an opportunity, or I could take the space and say, actually, I'm in a relationship with a man, or where I identify myself as being gay, there's always that left or right. I still have to click the indicator and go right. And it always takes something, it always takes a bit of effort. So I realized that, the shame that comes with disclosure and the shame that comes with coming out is still there in very fine strands. And sometimes it pulls me back, or I have to really exert myself in order to step into that space. And that's an ongoing thing. So it might be someone down the road in the local shop, it might be a group of people that I'm working with, facilitating, etc. But there always has to be a conscious effort from me to move into that space, and it's vulnerability. It's everything that we kind of learned and we teach around vulnerability and shame. So yeah, it's never easy, and I just wish it was, but it's not. I don't think it ever will be.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have another rich Quest Wednesdays. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Me too.